Hi, GenderBlenders. Welcome to week 70. This is Steffi, and this week's question is seeking of validation from heteronormative binary gender systems truly a step forward for the transgender community, or is it subjugating of gender variant personalities to conceptions of normality? That was a mouthful. I'm going to rephrase that, I think. Since you can't get validation from a system, only from people using that system, let's rephrase that question. Do we want or need everyday people to accept us? Is it a step forward? Or are we being forced into a mold? I think that's the same question. I'm going to start this week with another one of the little stories that have been happening to me recently in my transition. As you folks know, I've been going through all my record changes and things like that. So I'm up to changing my bank records. So I stopped at the bank with my court-ordered name change, my new Social Security number with my new name on it, my new driver's license. And I forgot to bring my driver's license with me. I was going to show you folks. I have a new driver's license. It has my new picture. It looks like me. It's got the little F marked in the little box. I wanted to change over all my bank accounts, you know, my checking and savings and Visa accounts and home mortgage loans and all that sort of good stuff. So I just changed all of that stuff. So I actually stopped at a couple banks just recently and did all that. Never had a problem with that. But, you know, one of the ladies that helped me through some of the stuff in the main bank that I bank with, you know, worked our way through, and we were talking at the end. It was kind of cute. Because, you know, when we got done talking, I mentioned, you know, well, what's next is I got to do my passport. And she said, well, do you happen to have your old one with you? What she was looking for, she wanted to see what I used to look like. And I didn't have that, but I did have my old driver's license, you know, the one with the little punch so you can tell that it's invalid. And I showed that to her, and we both agreed that my old driver's license didn't look a bit like me anymore. So she was kind of surprised by that a little bit, but she was more curious as to, you know, how the process worked, because here she was the last half hour, 45 minutes talking to what she thought was a perfectly normal female, and then all of a sudden turns out to be a trans person. So she was a little curious. It didn't bother her a bit. So the acceptance level was pretty good. So I'd like to, that backs me into the acceptance level of us. Are we accepted by the normal people day to day? And you know, people not accepting me for what I am never ever was going to make me stop going through this transition. There's no chance that that would have stopped me. And it didn't. And I think because of that positive attitude, almost everywhere I was accepted reasonably well. I do have a couple friends. One of them mentions that she never tells people, and she recently got her SRS. And she's telling people that she never tells people that she used to be a guy. Me, on the other hand, I kind of go error on the opposite side of that. I almost never tell people don't tell people that I'm transgendered. So I mentioned that just way up front. And that disarms them and lets them know that I'm not afraid at all of what I am. And I know exactly what I am. So guess what? You dang well better accept me, and most people do. So that's, the acceptance level is actually pretty good. You know, when I first started this transition, I didn't really look like a woman very much. I used to be a lot more afraid of telling people who I am. Not anymore. And, you know, I found out that over time that I didn't need to be afraid of that, even in the early days. And you just really don't have to worry too much about that. People that accept you are going to accept you. People that don't aren't. And you're not going to make them. So, we're back to our little topic. What's normal? So normal people, can we get normal people to accept us? So what's normal people? Normal is a very well-defined mathematical term. Pride's coming up. I hope all you folks are going to go to Pride this year. I went to Pride the first time last year. And Pride is coming up. And I'm sure what's normal there is subtly different than, for example, what would be normal at a wrestling match. Different group of people, different normality. Because you see, normality refers to what the average is and how much you accept away from the average. There is no such thing as an exact average person. It's a statistic. That's a normal curve, bell-shaped curve. So some people tend to be more one way. Some people tend to be more another way. And, you know, we define normality then that way. Or we push it. Normality is context sensitive, so we push normality one way or the other way. So, are we being forced into a mold? Maybe we're making the mold. Maybe it's up to us to make that mold the way we need it to be. For me, that mold is certainly what I am. Moldy. No, that didn't come out right at all. It certainly is what I am, is I make my own mold. And if people want to accept that mold, that's fine. If they don't, that's also fine. But that's a little bit different take, maybe. So I don't think, you know, the question is, do we want people to accept us? Of course we want people to accept us. But does that stop us? No. Does it make us better as a group when more people do accept us? Yeah, it does in some sense, because now you've broken through a lot of barriers of people being afraid of that unknown. And you've made that unknown less unknown to them. They can now hang a person. Me. I'm me. They know me. Now they know this transgendered woman, and she wasn't so bad. She was a pretty nice person. So now it becomes less fearful for them. So I hope that's a little nice take on this week's topic. Until next week, this is Steffi saying bye-bye, everyone.